Welcome back, English learners. My name is Marco, and I'm joined here by the lovely
Erica.
And today we're going to be bringing you another great lesson, one of the lessons that you requested.
Yes, that's right. Actually, Maxim S requested this one.
Right. I think he's really into research and investigation, so we're bringing you a great lesson about this topic.
Okay, so I'm really excited to hear this dialogue all about research. So why don't we start listening to two university professors discussing an important question.
We've been over this 1,000 times. The data is irrefutable. Look, we've done extensive research, built studies, and read the literature, and there is conclusive evidence to support my theory.
Horowitz, I beg to differ. Even in your most recent study, the investigative approach was flawed. You know as well as I do, the collection of data was not systematic, and there's a large margin of error. To draw a definitive conclusion based on that data would be misleading.
That is preposterous.
You are trying to single-handedly solve one of the world's greatest mysteries, and yet you're oblivious to the fact that you're wrong.
I am not wrong. The chicken came first.
No, the egg came first.
The chicken.
Egg.
The chicken.
The egg.
The chicken.
The egg.
All right, so interesting. Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
It's an age-old question, isn't it?
And apparently, they are not going to agree anytime soon.
All right, well, what they can agree about is this awesome language. So why don't we take a look at it now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, on Language Takeaway today, we have some really great words, and this first one is really good. Irrefutable.
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 The data is irrefutable.
Okay, so if the professor says that the data is irrefutable, what does he mean by that?
He's saying that you cannot deny it. It is really, really true.
It is really true. There is no way this is a lie.
Exactly.
Okay. Irrefutable evidence, for example.
Yeah, that's a great phrase. All right, so the professor complained that Dr. Horowitz's experiment was flawed.
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 So, flawed. Is that an adjective, a verb, or a noun?
It is an adjective
Okay.
here. Now, when something is flawed, there is a problem with it, right?
Okay,
There's
so
a
it
mistake.
has an error.
Yep.
Okay. So this adjective is a way of saying that his experiment has a flaw.
A mistake.
A
Exactly.
mistake. So flawed is the adjective of a flaw.
Right.
Okay.
Now, the reason that his study or his experiment was flawed is because that it was not systematic.
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 So systematic. That's an interesting word.
Now, I think we can recognize the word system in here, right?
Right?
So when something is systematic, it follows a process.
A certain order.
Yes, a certain system.
Right. So that's basically what systematic means, to follow a certain order, to be more organized, right?
Exactly, yep.
Okay. And what about our next word?
Preposterous.
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 That is preposterous.
I love this phrase.
It usually goes together, right? That is preposterous.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does it mean when I say that?
It means it's absurd. It's ridiculous.
Right. It doesn't make sense. I can't believe you said that.
All right. Well, this is a really interesting phrase, but I think it's a little bit more common when it's used by older people.
Yeah, I don't really see a young person going up to someone and say, hey, that's preposterous.
Yeah, but it is a wonderful phrase. Now, our final phrase for takeaway, oblivious.
Oblivious.
You're oblivious to the fact.
So a person that is oblivious to something.
They don't know, or they're unaware.
Okay, so they ignore maybe the facts, or
Exactly.
they don't see it.
Yeah, you're oblivious to the fact that we're in a recession.
Okay, or he is completely oblivious. You can just say it like that, right?
Yep, he doesn't know.
Okay, so we took a look at some of the great vocabulary we found in the dialogue, but there were also some really good phrases that I think we should look at.
Okay, and let's take a look at those and putting it together.
Putting it together.
You know, Marco, one of the things I love about English is the way that words seem to fit together, like blocks coming together. And here we have a lot of great examples of these words that fit together really nicely. Okay, so why don't we look at those? And our first one now is extensive research.
Extensive research.
Extensive research.
All right, so we know extensive means
A lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
So that's really good when you put it together. Extensive research. It means you have
A lot of research.
you have really studied, you have really looked things up. Okay, extensive research.
Another great research-related phrase here is conclusive evidence.
Conclusive evidence.
Conclusive evidence.
All right, now the first word there, conclusive.
When something is conclusive, you can't argue with it. It's the final decision. All right, well, the professor complained that Horowitz's investigative approach was flawed, right? Mm-hmm. This is our next phrase, investigative approach.
Investigative approach.
Investigative approach.
Okay, so I remember the word investigate is a verb.
Yes?
But in this case, it's an
adjective.
It's an adjective.
When something is investigative, it's obviously having to do with
An investigation. Mm-hmm. So the approach so when he said investigative approach.
just simply the way you investigate the problem.
The way he investigated. Okay. Very interesting. What about this other phrase that I saw? It was really interesting. Definitive conclusion.
Definitive conclusion.
So a definitive conclusion.
All right. Well, again, I think we know the word conclusion, right?
Okay.
So it's a final judgment or decision.
All right.
When something is definitive, you can't argue with it or change it.
Okay, so the conclusion or the final result is final. Like there is no way of arguing it.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Definitive conclusion.
This is some great language. So why don't we listen to it one more time in the dialogue?
We've been over this 1,000 times. The data is irrefutable. Look, we've done extensive research, built studies, and read the literature, and there is conclusive evidence to support my theory.
Horowitz, I beg to differ. Even in your most recent study, the investigative approach was flawed. You know as well as I do, the collection of data was not systematic, and there's a large margin of error. To draw a definitive conclusion based on that data would be misleading.
That is preposterous.
You are trying to single-handedly solve one of the world's greatest mysteries, and yet you're oblivious to the fact that you're wrong.
I am not wrong. The chicken came first.
No, the egg came first.
The chicken.
Egg.
The chicken.
The egg.
The chicken.
The egg.
So, an interesting question. What do you think? What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, if you ask me, it was the egg.
It was the egg?
Yeah.
Interesting. What about why did the chicken cross the road?
To get to the other side.
Do you think that's really the reason?
Well, there's a million different reasons, but this is great. I'm glad you brought that up because this is like the classic English joke.
The classic English joke, right? Why did the chicken cross the road? And the answer is always...
Well, there are a million answers. So do you guys know any chicken jokes?
Yeah, why don't you come to our website, englishpod.com, and on the comments section, why don't you leave us your thoughts on what came first, the chicken or the egg, and why do you think the chicken crossed the road?
Research. Research is the process of finding new information, answering questions, and solving problems. It helps people learn more about the world and make better decisions. Research is used in many fields, such as science, medicine, business, and education. Students, teachers, scientists, and professionals all use research to improve their knowledge and understanding. Why is research important? Research is important because it helps people gain knowledge. Without research, we would not know about history, medicine, technology, or the universe. Research helps doctors find new treatments for diseases. Scientists discover new planets. And businesses understand what customers want. It also helps students learn and develop new ideas. Research allows people to solve problems. For example, if a city has too much traffic, research can help find ways to reduce congestion. If a company wants to sell a new product, research can show what customers need. In education, research helps teachers find better ways to teach students. Types of research. Research is done in many different fields and for different reasons. The way research is conducted depends on the goal, the subject, and the methods used. Some research is based on experiments, while others rely on studying past information. Here are some of the main types of research. Scientific research. Scientific research focuses on understanding the natural world, technology, medicine, and human health. Scientists perform experiments, collect data, and analyze results to discover new knowledge. For example, medical researchers study diseases to find new treatments, while physicists explore the laws of the universe. This type of research helps improve medicine, technology, and our understanding of the environment. Historical research. Historical research is the study of past events, people, and cultures. Historians look at old books, letters, newspapers, and artifacts to learn about history. This research helps people understand how societies have changed over time and how past decisions influence the present. For example, researchers study ancient civilizations to learn how they lived, what they believed, and how they built cities. Social research. Social research focuses on human behavior, cultures, and societies. Sociologists and psychologists study how people interact, what influences their decisions, and how societies change. This type of research helps improve education, economics, and social policies. For example, researchers study how children learn in different environments or how people react to advertisements. Market research. Market research is done by businesses to understand customer needs, preferences, and behaviors. Companies collect information through surveys, interviews, and product testing. This research helps businesses create better products, improve customer service, and increase sales. For example, a company may research which colors people prefer for a new smartphone or what type of food is most popular in a certain area. Educational research. Educational research helps improve teaching methods and learning experiences. Teachers and researchers study how students learn, which teaching techniques are most effective, and how technology can support education. This type of research helps schools develop better curriculums and improve student performance. For example, researchers may study whether online learning is as effective as classroom learning. Medical research. Medical research helps doctors and scientists find new ways to treat and prevent diseases. This type of research includes testing new medicines, studying viruses, and improving surgical techniques. It helps save lives and improve the quality of healthcare. For example, researchers work to develop vaccines for new diseases and find better treatments for cancer. Environmental research. Environmental research focuses on nature, climate, and ecosystems. Scientists study air pollution, deforestation, and global warming to find ways to protect the environment. This type of research helps create solutions for clean energy, water conservation, and wildlife protection. For example, researchers study how plastic pollution affects the ocean and how to reduce it. The research process. The research process is a step-by-step way of finding, analyzing, and understanding information. Good research follows a clear process to ensure accuracy and reliability. Choosing a topic. The first step in research is deciding what to study. Researchers choose a topic based on their interests, current problems, or gaps in knowledge. A good research topic is specific, clear, and meaningful. For example, instead of researching climate change, a researcher may focus on the effects of climate change on Arctic wildlife, gathering information. Once the topic is chosen, researchers collect information from different sources. These sources include books, academic journals, websites, interviews, and past studies. It is important to use reliable sources to ensure the accuracy of the information. Government reports, university studies, and expert interviews are considered trustworthy sources. Asking questions. Research begins with a question that needs an answer. This question helps guide the study and keeps it focused. For example, a researcher studying healthy eating may ask, "How does sugar affect children's energy levels?" Good research questions help researchers find useful information, conducting experiments and surveys. Some research includes experiments where scientists test different ideas to see what works. Other research involves surveys where people answer questions to provide data. For example, a scientist testing a new medicine may compare how two groups of people react to it. A company studying customer behavior may conduct a survey to learn what products people like the most. Analyzing data. After gathering information, researchers study it carefully. They look for patterns, trends, and important facts. This step helps them understand what the information means. For example, if researchers collect data on how much exercise people do in a week, they may find that people who exercise more are healthier. Drawing conclusions. Once the data is analyzed, researchers make conclusions based on their findings. They decide what the information tells them and how it can be used. If the research is about a new medicine, they determine if it is safe and effective. If the research is about education, they see if a teaching method helps students learn better. Sharing results. The final step in the research process is sharing the findings. Researchers write reports, publish articles, or present their results at conferences. This allows others to learn from the research and use it for future studies. Sharing results is important because it helps advance knowledge and solve problems. Challenges in research. Research can be difficult because it takes time, effort, and resources. One challenge is finding accurate and reliable information. Not all sources are trustworthy, and some may contain incorrect or biased information. Researchers must be careful and check multiple sources before making conclusions. Another challenge is time and cost. Research, especially scientific research, can take months or years to complete. Some research needs expensive equipment, travel, or large teams of researchers. Funding from governments, universities, or companies is often required. Ethical issues are another challenge in research. Researchers must follow ethical guidelines to protect people, animals, and the environment. For example, medical researchers must test medicines safely, and social researchers must respect people's privacy. The importance of research. Research is important because it helps people find answers, solve problems, and learn new things. It is used in medicine, business, education, and many other fields. Research improves technology, health, and knowledge. It allows people to make better decisions and develop new ideas. Whether studying history, science, business, or social behavior, research helps expand our understanding of the world. By following a clear process, using reliable sources, and analyzing information carefully, anyone can conduct good research. It is a valuable skill that helps students, professionals, and experts improve their work and make a positive impact on society. Challenges in research. Research can be difficult. One challenge is finding reliable information. Not all sources are trustworthy, and some may contain false or biased information. Researchers must check multiple sources to confirm accuracy. Another challenge is time. Research takes a lot of time, especially when conducting experiments or collecting data. Researchers must be patient and careful in their work. Some research requires funding. Scientific research, for example, often needs expensive equipment and laboratories. Researchers must find financial support from universities, companies, or governments. Ethics in research. Ethics in research means following rules to ensure fairness and honesty. Researchers must not lie about their findings or change data to fit their opinions. They must also respect the rights of people who participate in studies. For example, if a researcher studies human behavior, they must ask for permission from participants and protect their privacy. Scientific researchers must also consider the environment and animals. For example, medical researchers testing new drugs must follow ethical guidelines to ensure safety. Research in everyday life. Research is not just for scientists and students. It is part of everyday life. People do research when they read product reviews before buying something, compare different job opportunities, or look for the best travel destinations. Parents do research to find good schools for their children, and doctors research the best treatments for patients. The internet has made research easier. People can find information quickly with search engines, online libraries, and educational websites. However, it is important to check if the information is true and reliable. The future of research. Research is always changing and improving. Technology has made it easier to find and share information. Artificial intelligence, AI, is helping researchers analyze data faster. Scientists are using advanced tools to explore space, cure diseases, and solve environmental problems. Education is also benefiting from research. Online learning, virtual classrooms, and new teaching methods are improving education worldwide. Research continues to shape the way people learn and communicate. Conclusion. Research is an important part of learning and problem solving. It helps people find answers, make better decisions, and improve the world. Whether studying history, science, business, or health, research provides valuable knowledge. By using reliable sources, following ethical guidelines, and asking good questions, anyone can become a better researcher. Research is not just for experts, it is a skill that everyone can use in daily life.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Correct. Not able to be proved wrong.
Irrefutable.
Very full and complete study to find information.
Extensive research.
Using a careful system or method.
Systematic.
Having errors or mistake.
Flawed.
Crazy, foolish, or silly.
Preposterous.
Unaware or don't know.
Oblivious to.
Way of looking for information.
Investigative approach.
Do something on your own, without help.
Single-handedly.
A final judgment that is not able to be changed. That is final.
Definitive conclusion.
Find out if something is true.
Determine.
Show something to be true.
Indicate.
An argument that is capable of making people believe that point of view.
A compelling case.
A collection of facts that implies or suggests something to be true, but does not prove it.
Circumstantial evidence.
Linked or connected with.
Associated with.
Let's try that faster.
Unaware or don't know.
Oblivious to.
Having errors or mistake.
Flawed.
Find out if something is true.
Determine.
Correct. Not able to be proved wrong.
Irrefutable.
A collection of facts that implies or suggests something to be true, but does not prove it.
Circumstantial evidence.
Way of looking for information.
Investigative approach.
A final judgment that is not able to be changed. That is final.
Definitive conclusion.
Very full and complete study to find information.
Extensive research.
Linked or connected with.
Associated with.
Show something to be true.
Indicate.
Using a careful system or method.
Systematic.
Crazy, foolish, or silly.
Preposterous.
An argument that is capable of making people believe that point of view.
A compelling case.
Do something on your own, without help.
Single-handedly.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Irrefutable. Look, we have irrefutable evidence that he was the killer. Irrefutable. The facts are irrefutable. Smoking has a negative impact on your health. Irrefutable. The irrefutable truth is that there is a monster living in Lake Erie. Systematic. We need to approach this problem in a systematic way. Systematic. We did a systematic evaluation of the evidence. Systematic. He's a very systematic guy. He's very careful with his work. Neil is oblivious to what's going on around him. Are you oblivious to the truth? I was oblivious to the fact that there was a virus on my computer. Definitive conclusion. We have not come to any definitive conclusions yet. Definitive conclusion. Before you make a definitive conclusion, make sure you examine all the evidence. Definitive conclusion. The researchers failed to arrive at any definitive conclusions. We studied the problem carefully, and we found conclusive evidence of global warming. There's no conclusive evidence that links Diet Coke to health problems. There is conclusive evidence showing that smokers die younger.